Next game, Mavericks taking on man, whew. Mavericks taking on OKC. 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that game. Dallas is -1, total 225. We saw a half a point fade of Dallas and movement upward on the total. The Mavericks open 1.5 down to -1. Total open 224 up to 225. 61% are leaning Dallas, 71% shaded toward the over. Right now, OKC is plus 105 on the money line. OKC, they rank at the bottom 10 in offensive rebounding. They're also dead last in offensive rebounding at home. Gallinari and Noel, they are questionable. Nader and Ferguson, they are out for tonight's action. Thunder rank in the bottom 10 in home defensive rebounding, 20th in defending the three ball at home. Dallas on the other side, 5-2 straight up in their last 7. They also successfully covered the point spread in 5 out of those 7 games. Successful covers over the likes of Utah and Philadelphia. Dallas ranks in the top 3 in scoring, top 5 in offensive rebounding. Luka Doncic, 29 points a game, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. Kristaps Porzingis, 17 points a game, 9 rebounds for him. And Tim Hardaway. Wow, man, guys, I'm sorry. I'm totally distracted today. Tim Hardaway, 14 points a game, 3 rebounds for Dallas. The Mavericks rank in the top 5 in defending the three ball, first in road scoring. They're averaging 119 points per contest on the road. They're also in the top 3 in road offensive rebounding. This Dallas squad is in first place in the Southwest Division, and they are tied with Houston for the top spot in that division. Now, total-wise, we're looking at a Dallas squad who went 60% to the over in their last 5, 13-8 to the over when traveling. Now, OKC, 7 out of their last 9 got over the number as well. They are 14-10 to the over on their home court. I'm going to lean Dallas -1 and the over 225 in that game. And guys, before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines of personal leads out for Monday's NBA action. Certainly a sad day, a somber day if you're a sports fan, especially if you're an NBA fan, as things are finally starting to kind of settle in and process that Kobe Bryant is gone. Can't believe it. But anyway, guys, before we go ahead and move on, I just want to quickly remind you once again to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage, where we do daily premium sports picks on that website, beginning at just $1.99 per month. Guys, we're currently 4-2 in our last 6 daily best plays on that site. We're also 6-1 in our last 7 daily extra picks. And we are 4-1 with a push in our last 6 board member package plays. So, guys, we're certainly red hot in a couple different packages. If you want to check that out, link for that site is in the description section below. Once again, that is patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, let's go ahead and dive into a couple more free lines and personal leads right here on YouTube. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got the Spurs taking on the Bulls, 8 o'clock Chicago. The Spurs are -2, total at 216. We did see a half a point move towards San Antonio and movement downward on the total. The Spurs open 1.5 up to -2, total open 217 down to 216. 65% are leaning Spurs, 61% shaded toward the over. And right now the Bulls are plus 120 on the money line. Now Porter and Carter are still out indefinitely for Chicago. Markkanen is out. He's got some kind of pelvis injury. So Markkanen really banged up. He's out. Won't see him for a while. Chicago ranks in the bottom 5 in scoring, bottom 5 in offensive rebounding. Now Chicago struggling at home this year. Winners of just 10 out of their 25 home games. They're also just 11-14 against the spread in those games at home as well. They rank in the bottom 10 in offensive field goal percentage, bottom 10 in defensive rebounding. Chicago, they're covering just 33% of their games as the official home dog. They also are covering just 40% of their games that tipped off at the current point spread. Now San Antonio on the other side, 3-2 straight up in their last 5, 12-9 against the spread on the road. They rank in the top 10 in road scoring, top 5 in road offensive field goal percentage. DeMar DeRozan, 22 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. LaMarcus Aldridge, 19 points a game, 8 rebounds for him. And Patty Mills, 11 points per contest. San Antonio, they rank in the top 10 in shooting the three ball on the road. Now, total-wise, the Spurs are 13-8 to the over when traveling. Chicago, 60% to the over in their last 5. I'm going to lean Spurs -2 in the over 216 in that game. Next matchup, Kings taking on the Timberwolves, 8 o'clock, Minnesota. The T-Wolves open 3.5 down to -3. Total open 226.5 down to 225 and a hook. 62% are leaning Minnesota, 59% shaded toward the over. And right now the Kings are plus 140 on the money line. Holmes is still out. Bagley has been ruled out for tonight's action as well. Sacramento really struggling as of late. Losers of 6 out of their last 7. They also went just 1-6 against the spread in those 7 games. They failed to cover against the likes of Detroit and Orlando. They rank in the bottom 10 in scoring, bottom 5 in offensive rebounding. Sacramento just not getting the job done on the road this year. Winners of just 8 out of their 24 road games. They're averaging just 106 points per contest, and they're in the bottom 10 in defensive field goal percentage. Now, a couple more things to add about the Kings. They rank dead last in road offensive rebounding. They're currently in the 13th seed in the Western Conference at just 16-29 overall for the year, and they are 5.5 games back of the 8th seed. Now, Minnesota on the other side, listen, I know they've been struggling. They are ice cold right now. They cannot buy a game, but the streak, I think, has to end soon. I think they're almost there. They rank in the top 10 in offensive rebounding, top 5 in offensive rebounding at home. Karl Anthony Towns, he's averaging 27 points a game, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. Andrew Wiggins, 23 points a game, 5 rebounds for him. And Robert Covington, 13 points a game, 6 rebounds for Minnesota. 4 out of Minnesota's last 6 got over the number. They're also 6-3 to the over in their last 9. 6 out of Sacramento's last 7 got over the number as well. I'm going to lean Minnesota -3 in the over 225.5 in that game. All right. Next and final matchup for the show, it is going to be Houston taking on Utah. 9 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that game. Utah opened 11.5 up to -12.5. Total open 224 down to 223 and a hook. 64% are leaning Utah, 71% shaded toward the under. And right now the Rockets are plus 450 on the money line. Now obviously Westbrook and Harden are out for the Rockets. That's why you see this incredible adjustment of the line. I do think it's an over adjustment though. 12.5 points is an awful lot, even against, Houston's utility guys. I mean, Eric Gordon, he's averaging 15 points a game for the Rockets. Clint Capella, 14 rebounds, 14 points. I just think this number is way too high. I think the market's over-adjusted for this. So on no really basis other than that, I'm actually going to lean Houston plus the points. I'm going to purchase the half a point. I'm going to buy it up, and I'm going to lean Houston Rockets plus 13 and the under 223.5 in that game. And guys, before we go ahead and close this thing out, just want to quickly dive into some shout-outs. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage. Shout out to Emmanuel Gonzalez, Jim Boondock, Adiolos, Far. Excuse me. Shout out to Zooey Medical, Clash, Schnectical, Noliza Jandok, Ron Slap, AQ603. Shout out to Gothica, Richie Navarro, Debt Free Be the Bank, Jiggy S, Rebel 7, Lone Survivor, Con Pop, Rochelle Joe Kim, Ulysses Hayes, P. Lav, Marie Armstrong, Vernon Williard, and last but certainly not least, got to give a shout out to Lupa444. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage, where once again we do daily premium sports picks on that website, beginning at just $1.99 per month. We also have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that we do on that website. One of our packages is called the Daily Best Play, and it's just $1.99 through the end of the month. We're currently 4-2 in our last 6 daily best plays on that site. Another package that we have is called the Extra Daily Pick. That's $2.99 through the end of the month. And we are 6-1 in our last 7 extra daily picks on that site. And we are currently 4-1 with a push in our last 6 board member package plays. Guys, there's a lot of great information on there. We are red hot in a couple different packages Now you might be, wondering, why would I buy a package when, I'm just getting the picks here for free on YouTube? And you're exactly right. I can certainly see where you're coming from. And you are right. I handicap every single game on the board, side and total, here on YouTube. The problem with that is if you were to bet every single game with your hard-earned money, you're guaranteed to lose in the long run. And as a matter of fact, you're probably going to end up losing in the short run, guys. It's certainly no way to bet. It's a losing formula. You can't bet every single game and expect to win. The math becomes aggressively against you the more games and angles that you have in action. So what I do on Patreon, I make life a lot easier for you. I narrow it down, break it down, and focus in on 3 to 4 premium selections per day. They're games that I personally have action on. And I'll tell you what, my current Patreon record is a whole lot better than it is here on YouTube, handicapping every single game on the board, side and total, basically throwing darts. Now, I don't take any free passes here on YouTube. I won't tell you it's a stay-away game. I owe you better than that. I'm not going to break down a game for 5 minutes and then tell you to stay away from it. I will give you an opinion on every side and total, but certainly I implore you, please don't bet every game. It's no way to win. Check me out on Patreon. And like I said, let me make life a lot easier for you. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. But most importantly, guys, I got to thank you for tuning in right here on YouTube. I apologize for being a little bit emotional, but with Kobe passing, man, it really it has affected me more than any athlete celebrity death, hands down. I mean, this is a tough one. Like I said, this guy has been at the height of sports from the time I was in middle school into my 30s. I grew up outside of Philadelphia, and this guy was the man down there, and this is a tough one. I feel so bad for his daughter, Gigi, and I feel bad for his wife, Vanessa, and his family, and for Joe. Just a lot of people. It's a bad situation, and most importantly, I feel bad for Kobe. This guy was driven to be the best. He always had the future in mind, to get better and to climb and to climb and to climb, and to see him chopped down at 41. It just doesn't seem right, man. He seemed immortal. Kobe Bryant seemed immortal. He really did. So to see him pass away like that, definitely unexpected and doesn't seem real. But rest in peace, Kobe. Us sports fans, we missed you. We appreciate what you gave to the game, what you gave to sports. And I personally, I owe a lot, especially in business, to Kobe Bryant. He provided a lot of inspiration. So this one hurts, and I'm going to leave you guys. And best of luck to you guys. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. And we're gonna close this thing out with just a little image of Kobe embracing his daughter Gigi. All right, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant.